Views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
And we're back for one more show, Table Topics, and with me today, no guests, but my co-host, John.
Yep.
How you doing, John?
Good. And I'm underdressed again, but it's all right.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's been meeting after meeting today, and I'm going to end up on the city council meeting tonight.
Oh,
so
boy.
it's been one
Are you
after
gonna
another.
speak?
No.
Oh.
I mean, at this point, I never know. When I go there, I don't have intention to speak.
Yeah.
But then I hear so much there that needs, some things need to be said that I have no other choice if not putting my name. That's why a lot of times I don't sign before financial because actually it's nothing new to say.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then after hearing financial, I feel like I need to say something before city council, and then that's when I put my name on, and then that's when they call me right before city council meeting. But I really advise people to go in person and see these meetings. I mean, it's so much you can see. You never heard that says reading between the lines.
Yeah.
That's what you can see behind the cameras.
No, I agree.
The actions,
I agree.
the faces, the expressions that people, because the camera it's focused on one person that's speaking, but it's so much going on.
Yeah, exactly.
When you kind of sit and you can see the whole picture.
No, I totally agree. I agree. There is, I believe it's the end of the month, the 25th, I believe, that there's going to be a meeting at City Hall regarding this funding that we're getting from the federal government.
Oh, Our Lady of Bend.
Yeah, that's right. All right,
Our Lady
that's
of
on the
Bend.
25th. Thank you. I thought it was City Hall, but
Monday.
Yeah,
It's going to be Monday night.
Yep.
So if you think that you can give an idea to the city how to spend the money, I think people are just going to lose their time because they already spend the money.
Yeah,
They already know where they want to spend the money.
I don't know if that's the
It's
case.
just to follow the rule.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case yet. This is money that should be spent on things that we would never be able to, use or fix or make look better. So I think that they're going to look at it. I'm going to go. I think that it's still worth trying to give your 2 cents. I don't, they can't spend it on lowering our taxes or lowering our water rate from what I've heard, but I'd like it to be spent on things to make things look aesthetically better. The traffic islands that we have are in terrible shape. Planting some more trees would be nice. Even putting signs on some of these islands of the neighborhood groups. Just trying to make things look better that we're never going to have the money to spend funds on.
I agreed, and one of the things that I think they should be spending money is in a way investing in stuff that the city can make money back on the long run. Linda, a couple of weeks ago during our show, she mentioned about her idea of putting the boxes on the bus stops, so people can actually sit inside if it's sun or if it's raining. I think it's a good idea because it's something that if it's not this money will never happen.
Yeah.
But I will love the idea because we actually can make money back, because if you go to Boston, New York, you see advertisers put on those walls and the city are actually making money out of it.
Yeah.
So here's an idea that would never happen, but could happen now. But it's an idea that the city can still make some profits every year going
Yeah, no,
forward.
it's a good idea for certain places where you have a lot of people. I don't want to see them personally at every bus stop in the city, because I think that would kind of be a waste. That's just me personally. I know a lot of people use the bus, but I'll be honest with you, they shrunk the buses down, because whenever you do see the buses, or I see them, I see 3 people on a bus. So I don't think that mode of transportation is being used as much as we think. So, and the other thing that I wouldn't want to see a lot of them, yeah, get a few out there, but it's something that people vandalize. When we have had them up, it's something that people vandalize. So, but yeah, I mean, that is a good idea. You know, when we were talking, I just thought of this. When that Quequechan Rail Trail was built, there was a lot of talk about what could be done with that. I don't know why we haven't, or the city hasn't, because we could employ kids doing this, get either kayaks in there or the paddle boats. That's something for kids to do, families to do. I think it'd be a cool thing, but it just went dormant.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because going back about, I would say 8 years ago, maybe 6, when we started cleaning up the river, at the park, the Brenton Park, and was a loan order the city councils did to fix that park. That on that order was included a dock to put on the river, which was a project for, and Mike Dion was looking through a book to buy kayaks and paddle boats and all of that, was part of it. But that was going to have to be done by steps. The first step was cleaning up the water, because that was really, the water is really bad. The water was smelling really bad back then when the idea came to the table. So what happened was, 2 years after they spent the money they had to spend on the park, and on that account was $32,000. They was going to go into that project.
Okay.
The city ended up closing the account, moving the money to free cash. Okay, and we lost the money. So it was a project there, was a step 1 done, but where we're standing right now, I have no idea. And again, you know, it's gone. With this money, I would like to see the city purchase 2-3 trolleys. That's, if we don't buy them now, will never happen. And the trolleys is something that we could use for so much stuff. And again, the city can make money out of it. Because if the city has it, now you have tours, now you have weddings. Now, so I mean, it's stuff like that I would like. If we're going to spend the money, let's see and bring at the top of the list money that we're going to invest, but we're going to keep raising out of it. And you know, raising money out of it.
And you know, I'm just putting this out there. This is my heartburn with the city council. Okay, because why aren't they following up on things like that? Why aren't they creating ordinances that say, hey, you know, we have to have a subdivision plan. So when you come in and you build 5 houses, you don't just go in and throw things there. New Bedford, there's a good subdivision that they built right on the Dartmouth line. Sidewalks, nice period lighting, brand new houses, streets done beautifully. Why can't we do that here? We're the same sort of city. Why don't we do that here? And the city council could go in there. I actually worked with the planner before that we had, you know, he was in before, now he's there again. I just don't have the time, but I actually worked and created some of the ordinances, went before the ordinance committee, and we had an attorney in there that was really not too wanting to do this, and everybody backed away. But this is what they should be doing. I don't want to hear people bickering every meeting, and this is being like, you know, like a comedy show. I want people to start doing something. I want to see these councils that have been in for 3 or 4 years. At the end of your term, at 2 years, you need to list what you've done. I don't want to hear blaming on a mayor, this mayor, that mayor. We have a new mayor every 2 years. So that's not helping either. But I want to see what your accomplishments are. This is what councils should be doing. They should be doing constituent services, and they should be working on these different projects. I thought we all had these certain committees, real estate, this. What are they doing? Has there been an ordinance created? I don't even know, because when you look at the ordinances on the city website, there's nothing new. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You
No. And since that we're talking about city council, and I mentioned that will be a city council tonight, financial is going to be again a comedy show, because it's budgets. Let's talk about budgets. What do you think it's gonna happen tonight with this budget?
I mean, there. Like I said, this is what gets me. No matter what, I don't want to see a comedy show. I don't want to hear that someone's feelings were hurt or somebody didn't know this or that. We know how politics run in Fall River. So everybody that's on that city council right now, with the exception of maybe one or two newbies, they know how this runs. They've all been part of this, moving things around and doing things. They all know it. So my frustration is that for you to complain about someone, I don't even care anymore. What are you doing in that position to correct this? Like I said, every 2 years we have a new mayor. You know what I mean? So this is nothing new to the councils to work with the mayor. Well, this is nothing new.
And it happens every year is they talk, they have the microphone for 45 minutes, talking, and then when comes time to vote, they vote opposite. Yeah. It's like we just waste 45 minutes. Everyone spoke for 45 minutes, okay, against or in favor, and your vote actually goes against what you spoke for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that needs to be cut out, because all that is pandering. It's an election year. We need to get the job done. I don't want to hear that somebody lied to me, somebody did this. Nobody's going out actually lying. It's misinformation. People embellish. That's what a lot of this is, because the people that are saying this stuff do the same thing.
Well, I think that the mayor did a mistake just trying to emphasize 45 days. I don't want to hear anything else. That's it. It's 45 days. Okay. I think that's the part that he did. I think if he had to come out and say, okay, by law, we out of time. But I want to work with the city council. Forget about the 45 day. We still have time to all agree into a budget.
I get it. I totally get what you're saying. I totally get that. But no matter who's been in as mayor, no matter who the councils have been, there's like some heartburn with this. And I totally get that. I don't want to see that anymore. I want you as a council. I'm going to give kudos to Mike Mioza. Mike Mioza was a council that at least said, I'm going to tell you what I've done. What are my accomplishments been over the last whatever years he's been in office. That's what I want to see from now on. When people are running, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to make this better? Because it's like, oh, this city's so bad. Well, you've been a council for how this long. What are your accomplishments of it? Tell me that you're good with constituent services, and I'll probably agree with some of the councils on that. I know personally, I've called councils, I don't get a call back. You know what I mean? They don't even, it's like I can't be bothered. Or you call someone, I'll call you back, you don't get a call back. So what is that?
I mean, and some of the councils are there, for decades. Just because, it's they got in a good side of the people, and it's
there's some people that have been in for decades. I have to say, the people that have been in for decades, and there's more than a few there, they'll call me back. It's new people that I've called that won't call you back. So they were the ones on the outside saying, I can do such a great job, but they don't call you back. So to me, you're just as bad as, I don't have a problem with talking about people that have been in for a long time. I don't have that problem. However, if you're doing the same thing that you're accusing them of, now I have heartburn over it. And that's what a few of these councils have done. So you're supposed to be a counselor for everybody, then you need to answer every phone call, but so that's my 2 cents.
It's and the way you're speaking is if it's the rules are followed, that's what's important. So talking about rules, and I bring it back to the events that we've been missing.
Yes.
Because you know that we do a lot of events during the year.
Yeah.
All these events, we follow the rules.
Yeah.
We pull up permits.
Yeah.
For if we're serving foods, we need the health department permits.
Yeah.
If we cooking, we need the fire department permits. If we need traffic, we need the traffic to get involved,
Yeah.
and all of that. We follow rules.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of events going on that those permits are not being pulled, okay? And the only reason they are getting done is because of the top of the pole, the post says sponsored by the city of Fall River or Mayor Cuban. Okay,
Carlos.
so my thing, let me finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you
my
finish.
my thing is, and you are involved in an organization that follow the rules, and I advise everybody to do it. So everybody's
absolutely.
safe.
Yeah.
So everybody's safe. But here's the thing. For me to put an event in August, I need to get my stuff done in January.
Yeah.
In January, that's when I'm gonna book the permits. That's when I'm gonna fund sponsors to pay for it because it's not free. It's free for the public, but costs money to do it.
Yeah.
In January, that's when I'm gonna do that. That's when I'm gonna book bands if I need the bands open to play for me in August. That's what I'm gonna rent the equipment, the water slides, the everything. That's what I'm gonna book my bathrooms. That's what I'm gonna book everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Until last month, we could not even talk about permits because they didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only reason that I'm canceling all my events, it's because no way I can get them done in 1 month.
Yeah.
But
I'm listening.
if the city is going to do it,
Yeah.
they pull up the switch last month, and everything gets done. I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Sends a wrong message. Sends a slap on the face of people that have been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
We don't just started last year. We're doing this for years, and we know the rules, and we know we need to follow the rules.
Yeah.
To me, that's a slap on the face.
Yep.
Okay, we've been doing movie nights all over the city, not just on my neighborhood, all over the city,
agree.
following the rules.
I hear
Okay,
you.
renting the movies
Yep.
and spending money to do these events. So I think that was wrong, kind of just to pull out the event, okay, and not doing because I can get it done without permits.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree with you. First of all, I think if you're having something for the community that a group is paying for, I don't even think you should be paying for these permits for the grills, for the fire department, and all these other things. I think that stuff should be waived because you're doing something, as a volunteer. You're providing
And
a
free.
service and free.
We're not even selling anything.
Yeah.
It's-
So
everything is
I
free.
totally agree. But this is something that's happened with the last mayor, the mayor before that, the mayor before that. It's just something that happens. You know what I mean? Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. I think if you do that for one group, then you need to waive it for everybody else. As long as they're providing something and they're not charging people for it, why would you charge the fee for that? Why are you trying to make money off a nonprofit that's having movies for a section of your city as a politician, right? I mean, so I have an issue with that. Yeah, it shouldn't happen, but...
So from the beginning, I had a problem because we all do different events. I have helped you
Yep.
on your events.
Yep, absolutely.
You have helped me on my events, okay?
Yep.
So instead of me creating and duplicating events that you doing,
Yeah.
which is your idea that you're holding on your neighborhood, I just join you to help you on your neighborhood to do your event, and you help me because it happened on the past.
Yeah.
So here was the first mistake, was the mayor came up, let's put a movie night, a movie night. Okay, who's doing movie nights? And I told that the mayor.
Yeah, well, Mike Dion is the one that would
I understand,
help with that,
but
right?
guess what? The Fleet neighborhood has been putting movies for years.
Yep.
So let's reach out to them
Yep.
to see, we want to help them putting the movie nights. But we don't want the movie nights just on a flint. We want the movie nights all over the place, which I agreed with, and I did it myself.
Yeah.
It's not. I did it myself. I did 9 movie nights,
Yeah.
and those 8 movie nights was out of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I spread them all over the city. So here was the first mistake: was who's already doing it? Let's help them, do it. If they cannot do it, then we're gonna follow different direction.
Yeah.
But if they already haven't done, okay, let's help them, because I think it's good for the community, and they've been doing it for so long. Let's help them, because that costs probably $500 a movie. I never had nobody calling me and say, Carlos, I want to pay for movie nights. You know how many movie nights going on and it's paid by one person?
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, because what happens is, let's face it, Carlos, what happens is somebody goes, and it's probably during an election year, goes to the mayor's office, I want to do this, that, or the other thing. It's not a group that's popular, or it just started out. Mm-hmm. So, of course, anybody, whether it be a councilor or the mayor, is going to show that they're trying to help. Mm-hmm. If they don't, then it's going to be all over social media. Oh, I went to the mayor's office and they refused to help us, and blah, blah. There have been a few things that have happened that I know most of that was, pushed along by the mayor, because, you know what I mean, it's just how things are now. So, but I agree with you. If you do it for one, you have to do it for everybody else. You shouldn't be going through the whole rigmarole if other people have done it.
And,
you know what I mean?
And
you got to be consistent.
And another thing is, when this thing started, nobody was allowed out.
Yeah.
No group was allowed together.
Yeah. I agree.
So remember this, when this started, nobody else could do it. You could not go and do a movie night and put 20 people on.
Yeah.
Okay? But in one side, stay home because COVID, you're not vaccinated, and you are going to get COVID. But on the other side, okay, you say, okay, well, it's safe, we're going to do a movie night.
Okay.
So which one it is?
Well,
it's safe or
well,
it's not safe?
Well, if you listen to Dr. Fauci and the CDC, they want us to be wearing diapers for the next 2 years.
But the thing is, they're not constant. They keep changing back and forth, whatever fits them.
I agree, but I think it's at the national level. It changes from day to day. Now we're worried about this Delta variant, but what do we hear? People that have been vaccinated, you're okay against the Delta variant that wasn't even around when the vaccine was given out. So, you know what I mean? It just, so I can't fault the city with that, because there's so much disinformation out there, you know what I mean? And now they're talking about wearing masks again, which I call diapers. That's why I stopped. Those remind me of diapers. Or as the British say, nappies, if you watch overseas, that's what they call them.
What's one more thing park board. Did you watch the last
No, but
meeting?
I heard it was a disaster.
Well,
I was going to say something other, but I can't swear.
Was a disaster.
I know on camera.
Was a disaster. Why? I'm going to explain to you why it was a disaster. Why are we asking groups to raise money, to do fundraisers, to fix parks?
Well, that's been going on for a while, unfortunately.
That's
I don't agree with it either.
That's what, and the excuse is, well, but if your team's gonna work, it's gonna play outside the city, it's gonna pay for the field. Well, number one, they should not pay no fees because it's public parks. Okay, should be on a budget. Yeah. But on the other side, the city should be fixing the parks and not charging or not putting, on the team's throats, to sell chocolates and to make, lemonades on the corner of the streets, to cut the grass in the city park.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That makes no sense.
No, I know, and they pay for the electric as well, and I think their point, the city's point, has been from so far back that they're reserving that. Nobody can use that park when they're there, or that
Which
field.
Is wrong.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. If you're playing a game, you don't want people running on the field.
Yes, I understand. But if you are paying for something, you want to reserve your right to have it.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
Which is wrong. So if you are fixing this park and you have a permit, that means that I cannot go there and play with my kid. I'm paying tax for that park.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's organized sports, so I totally get that. that they don't want people just going on the field. I totally get that, Carlos. We need to get kids into sports. You know.
I understand, and the way to fix this is to do like the other ones. The other ones charge you it's cheaper for these teams to pay $100 a game than to pay $5,000 just to put a net up.
Yeah.
Just to put a net up,
I hear you.
$5,000.
Yeah.
So guess what? Is the city needs to provide all that stuff into the parks. Yeah. Should be on the city budget. Okay, if they need to fix something on the field for these teams to be, should be on a city budget.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not trying to get these teams, you know, to work. And some parents not sleep good or not because they need to raise money to have the kids playing.
So you want to, you know, that was the whole big thing at the city council, and they never resolved it.
They need to resolve it. But that's the thing. That's what I just said. Yeah. They talk for 45 minutes, and then they vote against.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You know, oh, I agree. Our kids need parks. Our kids, you know, we need to do more for the kids. We need to do more for the. Okay, let's vote. No.
Yeah. Well, what about we need to pay people more to hire people? They won't take the job, and then people have rejected the budget because they didn't like some of the salaries. You can't have it both ways.
Well,
you can't have it both ways.
Listen,
right?
One of the things that was said on the last meeting was an employee that it's working for the city for years it's gonna get a $7,000 raise.
Okay.
When you know that we have good employees in the city working for years.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't got 50 cents.
Well, they must get something because they're in unions, most of the folks. They're not making, I get it, they're making, I've heard that story, they're making 30 grand a year. I totally get it. They're making 30 grand a year. They have benefits though. They're going to get a retirement. Most people don't get retirements right now. So I totally get it. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't give someone that, you know, and I don't even know, say a Mary Sahadi, for example, right? Do you think, I think she's making what, 120 or 130? You'd have to triple the salary for me to sit there and take that abuse every week. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? With somebody that's coming in making 30,000, you're not putting up with that abuse. That's like really, you know what I mean? No matter who gets in there, whether you're the city administrator or the finance person, that board is on abuse. You know what I mean? The way they act there, that board is on abuse.
One thing I'm sure that our city needs to press all the red buttons, all the stop everything.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter where you turn.
Yeah.
You go to boards, it's a mess.
Yeah.
You go to the city, it's a mess. You go to city council, it's a mess. You know, you go to the mayor's office, it's a mess. Everywhere, it's a mess.
It's all about power.
It's everything. So we need just to press all the stop signs. Okay, press everything, stop everything.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can start over.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
because the way it is, we've been changing mayors every 2 years. We have changed 2 or 3 mayors in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not working.
Yeah.
It's proof that it's still not working.
Yeah.
We must have been doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
either you change the whole coffee, because if you put milk on your coffee and you spill the coffee, just dumping half of the cup, you still have that coffee in there.
No, I agree.
You need to dump the whole thing. You dump the whole thing and you start fresh coffee.
I mean, this is not anything. This is the same thing that's happening in the federal government, the state government. All this stuff is still happening everywhere. It's a worldwide phenomenon that everything is totally messed up. You know what I mean? And we gotta, like you said, hit the halt button, or as they say, the reset button. Reset. We have to have a reset. Reset everything.
Yep. That's what we need. From everything, from boards to city council to mayor.
I don't always agree on everything reset, but I'll agree with you with this. You know what I mean? I don't believe in a reset on everything, but the city, yes.
No, we have a lot.
We could use that.
We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. So, and we spent half an hour just locally, just talking about the city.
Getting aggravated.
The city. And we need, some of these days we need to go nationally because it's a lot going on nationally. And I know John is dying to talk about nationally and how Sleepy Joe is doing.
Yeah.
So
we can wind it up here because there's a lot to talk about even internationally. But
So I see you guys next week. Stay tuned and watch out.